doing here?
How dare you use my name, Doughboy!
Okay, so before I speak, let me clarify something. In no way, shape, or form do I hate the anime. In no way, shape, or form am I dropping it. In no way, shape, or form am I truly disappointed. And in no way, shape, or form am I completely unhappy that I get to gaze upon Masamune and Aki after like nearly 6 years, because I am ecstatic that it's back. All right, all of that's in the clear. We're good now, right? Okay, here's the thing. This episode sucked ass, and there's nothing we can do about it, okay? This episode was just awful. It was poorly paced. It was all over the effing place. It was boring at times. It was just a complete and utter, like the writing was just all over the place. It was just a mess, okay? And then you have what was written being completely frustrating in the eyes of the viewer, okay? And these are just my complete like views of the experience that I just went through watching episode number 4 of Masamune. And I am so excited because I was like, okay, we're finally gonna jump into the reality of Yoshino being the bad guy. What's Masamune gonna do? Painting her as the bad guy, being the bad guy. What is he gonna do to her now? The answer to that is jack shit. And then I was like, okay, now he finally gets to he has a complete clear slate to completely go and pursue Aki. And they just shared like some really sentimental moments with each other in France, and they had a little kerfuffle, and he finally gets to just completely put everything out there on the table, probably minus the revenge part, but just kind of put everything on the table, come clean, and just say I love you kind of thing. And none of that has happened so far. What has happened was just so frustrating. So I'll break down everything, but I think this episode really honestly sucked, and I hope it kind of gets better from here. Because again, I covered all those things. Not disappointed, don't hate it, not dropping it, nothing, love it, blah, 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 blah. But this episode still sucks. So let's just kind of go through everything. So first and foremost, we found out Yoshino, and the whole entire thing, she basically, lied straight up. And then she lied again to his face. And then she was like, okay, JK, it actually was me, haha. And that whole thing, I was like, okay, that's pretty on par. That's pretty on character for her. So I was like, okay, that totally makes sense. Then I was like, okay, she obviously did these actions because she hated him. But how the hell did she pull it off, right? So we finally get a whole backstory, which is boring. And I was like, okay, so we deep dive into Yoshino's mind, and we find out that she hated Aki. She can't effing stand her. So why would you do an action that gets you to be the priority again, to spend more time with the person you can't effing stand, you hate? Jealousy, okay? So she confirms to us, the viewer, she hated Aki. She couldn't stand being around her. She was always in a bad mood. She was always the punching bag. And originally, towards Masamune being the new friend, she felt a ton of pity towards him. But then she saw Aki genuinely having happiness and fun and a genuine smile and being very her but kind, and just like all these things of like, okay, what the hell? And then what really solidified it, because she was already starting to have this green eye monster of jealousy within her, because she was seeing a side of Aki that she never gets to really see. Then as Aki's parents were going through the divorce and all the things were happening there, well, A, her parents are pieces of crap, but then B, Aki was like, oh, it's completely okay because I have Yoshino, or I have Masamune. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there real quick. It sounds like I was really intrigued in this, but that whole entire backstory, although I got a lot of information from it, wasn't entertaining. It was really, really boring. Again, a lot of information. You can put that in a category and say, but that is totally needed for the story. I get it. It's completely okay. I understand it. Just because something is great for the story on paper, if you're reading it kind of thing, it doesn't mean that it's entertaining as you're watching it. Again, I understand that the information it conveyed to me and you was a needed context, but the way that it was done, it was just boring to me. And I'm sorry, I just felt that. I was like, yawning as we were getting through this information, okay? Because that's all it was to me, was a big information dump through scenes. Okay, picking back up. Now she says that, you know, Masamune is all that she needs. This immediately threw Yoshino over the effing edge, and she went straight vindictive toxicity mode. And she, when Masamune finally showed up, he was calling Aki. Aki was in bed with chickenpox, knocked out. Conveniently, Aki next to her bed had a perfect replica of herself in a doll, 1-for-1, with perfectly removable parts, with a removable wig that perfectly fit Yoshino, and a dress that perfectly fit Yoshino, probably from her closet or something. All of these things, just like the stars aligned. Like, it was just so, oh my god, it was so frustrating just watching. I was like, yo, this is the most impossible shit ever. Like, a doll's wig is, okay, whatever. But, you know, that's how Yoshino was able to pull off acting like Aki and saying pig's foot. And then he just disappeared. It crushed Aki. Yoshino began to feel guilt, searched for him, and then, like, 8 years later, finally saw him in high school, or 7 years or 6 years later, whatever. Saw him in high school. Where, you know, I totally forgot the first season. His name is literally Masamune 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐽𝐩𝐸. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, Masamune, like, his name is the thing. And, you know, he called out the one thing that always plagued me is too. He's like, okay, so you, Yoshino, right? He told Yoshino, it's like, okay, so you immediately recognize me, but Aki, Miss Dense over here doesn't recognize me? What the hell? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, that's just so convenient. But anyways, so then he goes after Aki, you know, after the whole thing. He goes to save her. He goes to put on his cape. And Yoshino's like, go, bro, go. And I was like, okay, I hated all of that. He finally gets there. Then he hits Porky Boy, or Porky Girl. I guess it's a girl at this point. So he hits her. And I was like, hey, you just hit a girl. Just wait till you find that out. That's a whole nother can of worms. And then he doesn't tell her anything. He gets to Aki. He doesn't tell her shit. He doesn't say anything whatsoever about, I'm the real Masamune. I've been lying to you. This is why I was so worked out. The scroll log of shit he could have told her in that moment. He doesn't. He just says, don't date him. Date me instead. And then he goes, And I'm just like, what the freak is wrong with this writing in this show? And what the hell's wrong with this character? Anyways, I did not like this episode. I thought it was awful. I thought it was bad. I can't wait to see what happens next, though. So again, take it for what it is. That's just my feelings towards episode number 4. Very frustrated watching it. Was bored at times. And the times I was looking forward to just completely slap me in the face with disappointment. So that's how I feel. Anyways, let me know what you feel. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Run me ragged, run me through, or agree with me. Let me know how you feel. I'll be interested to read both of the commentary, or maybe something in the middle, a little understanding of both sides. We'll see what we get. All right, friends, I'll see you guys next week for episode number 5. Peace.